What is happening, everybody? I figured that was the perfect song for Kevin Byrd. So I will fight, kick, jab, whatever to try to keep that thing going on Facebook because of the music here. Everybody, welcome. I'm Ian Cordle, host of the Dentologist Live, and it is another awesome day here at my shop in Napa, California. Coming to you live on Facebook. Let's see here. We're going to check out the public here and see how many people are coming on here. I know Kevin Byrd is the legend. And that reminds me, today I have a special guest, Kevin Byrd. Great guy. Just always has a smile on his face. I mean, did you see that? I mean, how does he get it to where it gleams like that? So, we're going to have him on here in just a moment, but how was everybody's week? How's everything going? I know I've been tremendously busy. You haven't even had time to go and get my haircut. Usually I'm a little tighter than this, but I'm definitely going to have that happen before next week. You say, what is happening next week, Ian? Well, I'll tell you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to hold off on telling you. First, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors, Mobile Tech Shade. Rain or shine, simply the best extendable suction cup umbrella system on the market. And then we've got Dent Man Tools. And Dent Man Tools, Jesse, and his show, Warm Apple Pie, make sure you don't miss that. And, of course, I got to give a shout-out to Randy. Randy is the creator behind all this interview stuff. So we're waiting for Kevin. And look at that. Just like that, Kevin finally comes in. I have to admit, I was a little stressed. I didn't know if he was going to make it here, but we're going to go ahead and show him here in the stream. Let's invite Kevin here. There he is. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? Girls. I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome, man.
Nice day today. Awesome.
It is. It's always a great day.
It is. Absolutely.
So you were saying you went mountain biking this morning to start your day.
I did. I mountain biked almost. I didn't die, so that's always a plus. It was promising.
I don't know if you saw
your deer, alligator. You know.
I don't know if you saw your intro there or the music that I picked for your intro, but I think when you go and you watch this, you're going to get a kick out of it. Because I handpicked the song. Awesome. I made sure that I highlighted, you've got a beautiful family. Why don't you kind of go through the motions and tell everybody about your family?
3 kids, beautiful wife. Carrie's very much involved in the PDR business as well. We do a lot of work, obviously behind the scenes and some stuff with Dent Craft. And my older daughter just moved back from New York right before COVID. She's 25, moved back to Clearwater, got into real estate. So promising young career for her. My middle daughter lives about a mile from us, and they also have a boat, her and her boyfriend Nick. And we spend a lot of time together. My son, he's going to be 14 on Monday, and he is hopefully the future of the Dent business. I mean, it's
awesome.
Anyone's game at this point.
We hope,
but, my goal is.
We hope, my boy, my oldest works with me, and he can. I hope someday I can just pass it right on over, and the checks just just come in. That's the way we want, right? Yeah. But then the youngest, he's working for one of the local body shops here in town, and definitely versed on estimating. So I definitely have noticed a big jump in jobs coming from there since he's been there. But he's learning kind of from the ground up like I did. So I'm hoping to create a bunch of future Dent techs.
Ian, did he cross train? I mean, obviously you trained him the way you wanted him to be trained, and but he's obviously watching Zane probably and learning some of his tactics and strategies.
When he finally does, when we finally bite the bullet and do that, and start his training, my youngest one, that is, when we do that, I plan on having quite a versatile array of different people training them, from the quirkiness of Wade Hartley and people like yourself, just great people. You don't know whether to go out and have a beer or actually push a dent. And then there's, there's people like Bryce Kelly, who you can only be, so honored to sit there and see the tenacity and just the patience, that really can't be taught, but at least you can get a visual on stuff like that and move forward. I'm hoping the best, but like with my other son, you got to start off with little baby steps. And I definitely want them to learn on their own that I'm not as big of a jerk as you're going to think I am.
They're going to work for it. It's earned, right? I mean, think about it. You can't just give the farm away. But I will say, with mention of Bryce, he lives about 2 hours from me, and I have no problem on really major, crazy damage. I'll say, hey, I've got a guy that he can help you with that. Not because I can't fix it. It's just you get to a point you're like, this was what he specializes in doing. So I'd much rather, I have no problem sharing
customer justice. You guys are close. You guys actually are pretty darn close together. You and Bryce?
Yeah, we're not far. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Matter of fact, his first account, he still has a dealership that he services. And he was telling me, he goes, I keep them because they were one of my first accounts. 15 years ago. I'm like, that's funny, man, because 25 years ago, that was one of my first accounts.
Right. That's awesome.
Same people, same owners, everything. So,
he's like, oh, you're the
Kevin they were talking about.
That brings up a great subject. I have multiple, dealership accounts that I've held on, always had the vision of bringing on more techs, and having more people, come on. And at one time when I first started, every single dealership that I had was private owner, owned. And since then, I've been doing this a long time. So since then, these guys have, sold their dealership. They're living the dream, man. It's part of life where, you build something up and then you sell it and you make some money and you go on with things. But I still have 95% of my dealerships that I've turned on to, my son and hopefully, my other boy, like we were talking about, is going to be doing them. But it's the same thing, that private owner dealership. I can't say enough, man. I have so many people that root for me and do that. You still can go in there and you talk to the owner and everything. It's isn't that a great? I mean, I feel that that's just the only way. The whole corporate thing kind of gets lost. That personal feel.
I've done work with AutoNation, Asbury. I mean, I'm friends with their corporation.
Right.
Still do a little bit with Manheim, a lot with Odessa. And I think in doing so, you pretty much know when I show up, you know why. I mean, there's no secret. But those private-owned franchise dealers, they're still my favorite. Today I'm at a dealer, I don't know how many cars I'm going to have, but these guys sell 800 used cars a month. That's a lot of cars. I don't care who you are.
Wow.
And they're programmed. It's amazing. So, if you can get in, if you can get to the point where you've got dealers selling over 200 used cars a month, hey, that's pretty impressive,
That's huge. Yeah, exactly.
And that happens, that's a lot. I mean, we're going to do some work in Texas over the next few years. And, I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of really good guys and try and help them, guide them in the right direction. Like, hey, if you're going to go the dealer route, you might want to try this. Here's a different approach. And it works. It's it's just a different, the way your mind works, go in and attack it and your strategies. It's completely different than
it is
just showing up and, doing a few cars here and there and then moving on. But
that's right.
I like that high volume. You give me high volume, line up 100 cars. I'm going to try and roll through them as fast as I can.
Man, you know what? That's how I was for years. And I mean, it was like, no, nobody can do as many cars as Ian, man. Ian will come in here at 4:30 in the morning. By noon, this dude's done like 30 and, did that for years. Man, right. I have to admit, I don't like to admit it, but I got to admit here the last 2-3 years, I just don't think, no, I'll leave that to my boy. I'll leave that to them. That's the thing. Do you think that the new techs, you think the guys that are just starting out right now, do you think that they, well, I know the answer to this, but I want to see what your answer is. Do you think that they even can comprehend 25, 30 years ago doing this job, paintless dent repair on, dude, you'd show up to an account, you had no idea, man. You show up to an account, man, and there is 30 cars to do, and they want them done today, and it's just get them done. There wasn't an argument about price or, this other guy is going to come in and do 5 more, but a lot of guys won't ever experience that.
Yeah, and tools are different. So when we were using duct tape and homemade tools back in the day, and we had to do whatever we had to do to get the job done. So if you had 30 cars, it might have taken you all day, or you might have been done in half a day. But now, man, there's so many tools that make you faster, and just the way that you attack the car, completely different, But then again, pricing versus per panel, per car, that's different too. So it's nice to see, obviously, guys know their worth. They're pricing their dents out correctly, and they're not afraid to charge and ask for the money, which is kind of important, because if you take it down to, a low per car, it's going to affect your whole market.
Right.
Because people are like, well, this guy over here will do it for next to nothing. And, of course, he's going to be busy, super busy, and it'll affect his work.
Right.
But, I'm in a market where it's very mature. I mean, it's one of the first markets developed. So, I mean, there's guys they're here and they're good. So it's a tough market to break into. Florida, across Florida, really it is still difficult. It's oversaturated, but I'm not saying there's not room for a good dent tech. There's always room for someone who's really good.
Oh, totally.
Because I have no problem. Like I said, I'll pass work along. Hey, not because I can't do it, but if the way that my business model is, if I have 3 dealers in one day and then you show me a dent that's going to take me 5 hours, I'll pass on it to someone else. And, sometimes if I can take that stuff on, I'll be like, hey, it's going to be 3 weeks before I can get to it. Sometimes like, sure, we'll wait. No big deal.
Right. I think too, we've earned that. We've earned that right, doing this for as long as we have to have that little knapsack in the back, man, where we can pull. And I'm in no way meaning that these guys are lesser or more or whatever, but having these friends, having these guys, their work, you can trust them, you don't have to think about them, going over you or doing something behind your back, it's here, push it on, and everybody's working together. Speaking of working together, ARC. I love speaking about ARC. I love speaking about David Haxton.
I do too.
And the whole group. And I know that we had kind of breached on, talking about this during this interview. First things first, I didn't even know we were on that secret panel this whole time, man, grading guys. And I'm just so, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of, the job of just bringing this up, the whole mastermind behind it of techs, grading techs. It's not about the money. It's about the quality. It's about how they take a picture. I mean, all the way down to how they take their photos to show them right from wrong. And having a panel, I was so honored, man, when I saw, Don Cavanaugh, yourself, all these guys that are on this panel. I was like, man, I am just absolutely flattered. But where do you see
stack group?
Where do you see, or what have you seen so far, just in the last, say, year, with ARC really being mainstreamed and guys really attacking, wanting that certification and stuff? Where have you seen the growth happen? I've seen nothing but quality, but I want to hear kind of your take on it.
Yeah, I've honestly, I don't like to say no, because I think everyone, if you really want to get verified by your peers, show your best work. And I'm not saying, hey, we're judging you always. We're not. But, for a guy like me, if you're going to come work with me, I really want you to be ARC certified. I want you to go through that motion of saying, hey, I took the time. I wanted to be verified. And it's important now. It's a one-time payment. You get a nice plaque. There's not a lot of money in that account for ARC, but hey, it's not agenda driven. I mean, I'm not trying to sell tools or bring on guys, but if you're ARC certified and I know you, chances of me working with you versus someone who's not certified and doesn't, I don't really know that well. I mean, you need to figure out what business strategy you want to go for. Do you want to be known and verified by your peers? Yeah, it's the fastest way. That URL code that you get by being once you're verified, that content is transferred. So it only helps the individual. It doesn't, it's not a gain for me. I'm not looking at it like, hey, of course I want everyone to be certified. I think it's important, but we just didn't have this years ago. Other companies have tried it, and I'm not saying they failed. Some may have done things different, but I think ARC has really gotten it right. And I've watched seeing all the panel members now. It's kind of funny because we know them all. It's not like we haven't, we don't know each other.
Right.
We just didn't know each other was always, part of it.
Right.
So now that we're all out and we're board of advisors, and I don't even know all the new guys that are behind us that are looking at the new content. But what I will say is, if you're going to get certified, which I highly recommend, use a GoPro camera from start to finish and use proper lighting and use the same lighting and the same angles, because I'm sure you're the same. I can see, you can't hide anything from someone who's been doing this for years. We know if your light's a little blurry or if it's a little bit brighter or dimmer. Yes. We know these things. So I want to see the best work. I'm sure you do too. Mm-hmm. I'd probably speak for the entire panel. Let's see it. Let's see some crushed stuff. I still get a kick out of seeing some of these athletes. Like, man, that's some good work.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's like, all right, that's it. I need to go I need to go start practicing some more, Yeah, I hear you. I also, with ARC and David Haxton and, myself and yourself and Don Cavanaugh. And I can go on and on and on, all these people that, I had no idea, we're literally communicating and had no idea that we were doing so, or we're kind of joined, but, I know that. Right. But I'll tell you what, we really look forward to MTE. We really look forward to, doing stuff together. And I know, seeing our buddies every year and everything. And now we had 2 MTEs. We had the Vegas and the Florida show, with everything going on and, MTE being canceled. are you going to be okay? Because, dude, Kevin, the Vegas show, last year, man, you are always a great franchise, buddy.
Thanks, brother. Orlando is a different animal than Vegas.
Yeah.
I was really excited to go to Vegas because it is a smaller show, and I'm not so crazy busy with everything. obviously I help with Dentcraft, I help with MT, I help with the competitions, but it's a smaller show. So, come Orlando, I think usually Wednesday through Sunday, I'm swamped. My voice is gone. Of course, at the end of the day, I want to drink with my buddies,
right.
But judging the competitions now is a completely different thing than it was 10 years ago.
Hey, I almost forgot, man.
Nuts.
Dude, the tag team Dent Olympics. Talk to me. I got to know about this. I know that me and Sal have been, chatting a couple times about doing a little tag team. I think it would be, kind of like a theme like Ebony and Ivory, twins, where I'm a big guy, he's a small guy. We do something like that. But talk to me. What's the tag team going to be like this year?
Okay, so if and when it does go down, I think we're going to add a third vehicle. We've talked about the vehicles we're going to get. We're not going to do another Dodge Ram this year. Personally, I like the idea of a Chevy Silverado. That's, I think a lot of us have talked, the judges, we've talked about that. But as far as the challenge goes, the teams that are already involved and I've already talked to, and they're telling me what they're going to do. And I'm like, honestly, I said it last year. I'm like, look, guys, bottom line, I want to be entertained. And I want you to come out and do your best job. The judges, we've already gone through these cars, so we knew it was going to be a struggle based on time. But, I think that they had a little practice coming into it, and they knew, like, okay, I have an hour, you're fast, you attack it, and then we'll go ahead and you're the best finisher, we'll finish it up that way. Different tactics, different teams. Some guys ran out of time. But, man, I'm really excited about the way that this has kicked off. And I will say we're doing a separate trophy experience for entertainment value. So, like I said, I want to be entertained.
It was absolutely great last year, man. Some of the guys, David White showing up with his mop on and the 80s music playing. And, oh, my gosh, man, I'll tell you, awesome. That was great.
Him and Jeremy, all the Dent Wizard teams came out and they did it. They did it right, and team names and just coming out and having fun with it, and that's really the bottom line. It was a blast for a lot of people. We are going to have a separate entrance. We're going to have 3 vehicles, separate, like your entertainment score won't go against your overall, your Dent score.
Got it.
And when we judge judge these competitions from now on, we're going to be completely automated. So we'll have a laptop. Those scores will get calculated on that laptop. We had a few mishaps. We've corrected that. We've gone through it. And we want to make it right for everyone. We want to make it so fun that when you get out there and you give your best and you're sweating, for 45 minutes or an hour, we want you to reap the benefits. There are a lot of tool prizes and there's some cash prizes. So,
well, thank you for all the effort.
Cash prizes for
thank you for all the effort you're putting into this, buddy. Because I'll tell you,
no
last year was great, and the people and the costumes and the music and the whole venue, it was awesome. But I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to the next one and to see what you guys are going to have in store in the cars and what people are going to come like. And how they're going to be dressed and everything. Cause man, it was great last year, man. Now do you think, I know we don't have fortune tellers. We don't have a crystal ball or anything, but, I'm hoping that, we have, that venue here, come January, with everything going on in the world. It'd be unfortunate, but, kind of crazy.
Florida's not as tight down as some of the other states. Everyone's wearing masks, but man, our beaches are crowded. Restaurants are still busy.
Right.
They're filled to capacity. What they're doing, everything that our governor says we're supposed to do. But man, you can't find a bicycle. You can't find a boat, a paddleboard, a kayak.
Right.
If it has to do with
outside, here in California, it's
gone.
The same. I think everybody's being painted one picture, and it's actually quite different, But I won't get into that. I try not to deal with any politics or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, I'm living my life to the best that I possibly can, man. Mountain biking.
Me too, brother.
I got my new mountain bike. I'm going on this. Well, I was telling the audience that I'm going to talk a little bit about, or just hint about what I got going on next week. I'm going on a huge motorcycle ride all the way to Montana and back.
Nice.
I can't wait. I'm super, super excited to do it. I'm riding this thing. I'm riding it in the morning to work, shorts and everything in the cold mist. I can't wait. And then I'm getting on my mountain bike. So I have to say I'm a little sore.
I love it.
I am definitely a little sore between the mountain bike and the motorcycle. But no, man, I try to get on it as much as possible. I can't wait. We got to get something together where at one of these venues, we pick a place, whether it's a downhill run or something like that, to just have some fun, or come on out to California. Let me show you what mountains are all about, bro.
Come ride with us. Listen, before every MTE, the Wednesday before the setup day, TJ from Dent and I actually ride. We rode in Vegas. We ride all over Florida. Yeah, man, come join us. You'd love it.
I will.
And we can rent some bikes here too. But he did bring a bike in Vegas, and sure enough, we went out and it was a different kind of ride in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's just different. The trail we rode.
Or how does that work?
No, we rode this trail called Viagra, and it was pretty fun.
Really?
But it was some good downhill. A little bit of climbs in Vegas, but different ride than here. I ride old phosphate mines here, and people are like, oh, mountain biking in Florida. I'm like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's legit, man. Some of these trails are so technical and tough. There's one that's about 2 miles long, and it's got to be my favorite trail. It flows so nice, and of course it's closed right now because of the rainy season, but that's okay.
Guys that ride mountain bikes, guys that go out and I got people calling me here. Guys that ride mountain bikes, guys know our passion for it, because if they ride them, they know exactly where we're coming from, man. It's something that you're out there. It's just you and the bike, man. There's no noise of a motor or anything happening. You're up with nature. I absolutely love it. I love you, bro. And I just have to tell you, this guy
love you too, man.
Awesome smile. He's always happy. He brings people's attitude up. Be more like Kevin Byrd. That's all I got to tell people. Just be more like Kevin.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thank you.
And I appreciate you being on my show.
When you find a balance. Oh, man, love it. Love it. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Being on my show, man. I have got an incredible day. I am so blessed. I've got customers knocking on the door, things happening, man. I'll tell you, a lot of it I owe to, just being there. If you're there, you're accountable, and you do good work. You do the best job you possibly can on every job. You stay busy, and that's where I'm at. And you know what? I know you're at the same point, man. You got cars coming out your ears, man. We are blessed. So thank you, Kevin, for being on the show. And thank you for just being you, man.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And thanks to everyone in the audience. And, have fun and enjoy your life.
Definitely enjoy life, man. Well, hey, you have a wonderful day, and we're going to talk real soon.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, Kev.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ian.
What a great guy. I mean, man, if you don't know Kevin Byrd, introduce yourself. The guy is super easy to approach. He is just an incredible individual, but he wants to talk to you. He wants to get to know you. So definitely approach this guy if you see him. And I'll tell you, you won't be dissatisfied, because the guy is just an actual genuine human being. And with that said, that's the end of the show. I'm Ian Cordle, the dentologist, and I would like to thank our sponsors once more. Mobile Tech Shades, simply the best, rain or shine, and Dent Man Tools. And that concludes my show for today. And I appreciate you watching. If you would, get on there, like it, watch the next show. It'll be next Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning. And everyone have a wonderful day. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Thank you again for watching.